Hey everyone, in this lesson we're going to be figuring out what sort of data we want to have inside of our app. And for that we're going to go to the Queensland Government website, which is a dataset website with a lot of free datasets. They have around 2,000 different datasets here, all with different sorts of information. But the one we want to do, and the one we're going to be designing our app around, is the upcoming firework displays. This is just a list of all the upcoming firework displays, where they are, what time, and the sort of types of the actual fireworks. So to get here, we can just go data.qld.gov.au/dataset/fireworks, and this will take you to this page here. Now to access the API, we need to click here where it says data and resources. We just click on the API here, and this will open up this screen here. But you may be thinking to yourself, what is an API? Well, an API is a framework that allows us to connect to a website or connect to a program, application or something that we can then return information from it. And in this sense, we are accessing the Queensland Government website, their data website, and we are accessing the upcoming firework displays information. There's APIs for many different things. There's APIs for many different websites and services have APIs that we can access. For example, a lot of bus networks would have APIs so that if you want, you could build an app around that to access the location data and timetables of buses. And lots of other websites where it allows you to sort of access their features outside of their website. For example, Google has this, Twitter has this, Facebook has this. There's many APIs for them that allow you to access their website. For YouTube, you can modify your channel settings and video settings and account settings and all that. That's not directly on their website. That is done through an API. We can actually see all the data right now if we just click here on the visualization preview button. This will open up a page with a table similar to the sort of thing you'd see in Excel. It has all the data listed out for us with all these different fields. We have the ID, display date, the times, the suburb, postcode, display address, the event type, and the display type. So most of this information we'll be using inside of our app. We'll be able to display to the user all these different fields and even sort by the display date and suburb. Alright, now to access the API, because that wasn't really the API, that was just the visualization side. So to access it, we can just click here on Data API. Now, if you want, you can download this as a CSV file, which is like that table we just saw, but we want the live and updated version of it. So whenever I update, we'll constantly have the newest firework displays displayed to us. So we can click on the Data API button here, and this will open up this little window here. This shows us the API here with a couple of query examples. The first one here has the API, but it gets the fields, it gets a limit of 5 fields, and this sorts by date, so it will get the 5 most recent fields. Down here we have another one where you can search for keywords, and this one searches for a query of Jones. This is just a common thing on the website that it has to show as an example, but for our example we'll be using this one, and this will allow us to search and receive data for a suburb. For example, we can enter in a suburb name and that will return all the results with a suburb. Now let's just say we click on the first 5 results one here. This will open up in a new page where it sends the API and it returns this. Now this is a unformatted JSON file. Now a JSON file is basically a way to display data. It has objects, and inside of those, in these brackets, it has the information. Now it's kind of hard to read here because we see the information. We can see places like tambourine, event type, we can see some addresses sometimes, but it doesn't really have it in a format that is easy for us to read. So something we can do is convert this to a formatted version that allows us to actually see the data in objects and a lot more structured in a way. So to do that, we can copy all of this, and then we can go to a JSON Format website, which there's many of these on the internet. I just went to this one up here, jsonformatted.curiousconcept.com, and in here we can paste the raw data and click process. This will then give us a nice looking text here that shows us all of our data. We have these little containers that we can open and close, and the one we want to look at is records, because records is all the stuff we'll be reading. It has each record here. You have your ID, your display date, your time, the same stuff as that table we just saw. So this is the format that we'll be using it in inside of this JSON object. And good thing about Unity is that already has a built-in function and built-in utility to actually get these files and deserialize them, which we will be going over later on. But yeah, that is the data we'll be needing. What we need for later on in the next lesson and in Unity is pretty much just this line of text here, this URL. So you got the website name, action/data store, search, and we just want the resource ID of this long text here, and we want it just before the at or the and limit equals 5, so up to the 7b here. And that's pretty much all we need for that. So yeah, I'll see you in the next lesson where we'll be actually testing this out to see if this works in a external source such as Postman.